Yeah, 168 countries breaking into the United States so far. But you say you're not worried about having a Republican Party. You're worried about not having a country, and it's possible that that's exactly what Mitch McConnell is working toward. Senator McConnell is pressuring. Reports indicate that he's pressuring GOP senators behind the scenes to pledge support for an amnesty bill before it's revealed to the public. The bill is said to contain taxpayer-funded lawyers for illegal aliens, green cards, and jobs for illegal aliens. This is the Biden, McConnell, Cornyn, Schumer agenda, selling out this nation. It's because of lesser men like McConnell, in my opinion, that as a conservative, I have no home in the Republican Party. Can you understand why so many Americans look at McConnell's party and they want nothing to do with it?
I can understand that completely. It's a uniparty, and my daddy used to talk about they close the doors and the only color they see is green. And, these national chambers of commerce are pushing. There's not your local chambers, but your national chambers. They block everything. They want poor folks up there working on your roof with no benefits, without any protection. They want them cleaning your motel rooms. They want them working in their sweatshops. As long as it's portfolio over people is what this is all about.
So what do we got going on here? Well, it's the border crisis. The border crisis, which is ridiculous and has been ridiculous for decades, has allowed tens of millions of people to come into this country illegally, and now they're here. They're just here. And they're not going anywhere else. They're staying here and causing problems in the United States. This should have been never an issue. We should have had the policies on immigration that we had back in the 60s before we opened up this country to allow anyone to come in. And now look at all the problems we're dealing with here due to illegal immigration, due to immigration in general. It's just a problem. Now, we got the former chief of Border Security here, I believe it is. He is the retired San Diego Border Patrol chief, patrol agent. Okay, whatever that is. We're going to take a look at what he has to say. This is from a X account called MJ Truth Ultra. So let's dive in here. Before we do, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed because YouTube does unsubscribe people. You can find me over on Rumble and on Twitter.
Chairman, distinguished members, thank you for this opportunity. The only true consequence we have to slow down and discourage people from coming into the United States illegally is sending them back to their country of origin. Throughout the first...
I don't think that's true. We got bullets. Bullets would do a damn good job. You can make pits with pointy things in the bottom of them. Other ways you could deter people from coming to this country all involve the same result in the end.
First 3+ years of this administration, I saw a steady decrease in the countries we could send people back to. For the first time in my 25 years, and under 5 different administrations, whether through neglect or on purpose, I saw a large-scale lapse in our ability to return people to their country of origin. The inability to send people home meant that most people being arrested for illegal entry would either have to be detained or released. The current administration, however, from...
Okay, did you catch that? What we just said was the fact that we're not shipping people back means that we have too many people coming to deal with. We have to detain them, but we can't. We either have to, because we have too many people, we have to release them.
From day one, made a point of decreasing the amount of detention space available nationwide. Immigration and...
Of course, they reduced the amount of detention space available in the Biden-Harris administration. So we have to release them into the country, and then there's going to be this big push to make them, and we've already seen it happening, the push to make these people just give them citizenship, full ride, it's fine.
Customs enforcement's funding for detention has steadily been cut and private detention eliminated. The fact that so many illegal aliens are being released into the United States spread worldwide very quickly. As this happened, the numbers the Border Patrol encountered illegally crossing the border increased exponentially. The impact to me and my agents were significant. Sectors were ordered to take in and process all the illegal aliens encountered on the border. The Border Patrol saw groups of hundreds and thousands coming into the United States and turning themselves in. These numbers pulled 80, 90, sometimes 100% of the agents on duty away from the border. Border Patrol zones across Texas, Arizona, and California had no agent presence for weeks and months at a time. Those who did not want to be caught could simply walk in. We have no idea who and what entered our country over this time. Throughout 2022 and 23, I sent agents to Texas and Arizona to count gotaways. Those sectors could not even put enough agents in the field to see what they'd missed. Simultaneously...
Yeah, we don't have enough agents to deal with this problem. We don't have enough Americans to deal with this problem. There's no way we could deal with this problem in a reasonable manner, given the number of people that are here. It would take years and years. We'd have to shut everything down first, and then we could go about shipping people back or eliminating them. These are the solutions. These are the only solutions. We can't do anything else. Even if you ship them back, they're going to try to come back in. So everything has to be shut down, period. It has to be airtight. Airtight. So there cannot be any trebuchets launching drugs over the border walls There cannot be any submarines. There cannot be any flights. Everything has to be freaking airtight. If you are not a citizen or resident of this country, you do not get to come into this country, period. It's that simple. That means tourism is done. That's going to impact our economy. Everything has to be shut down if you want to stop this problem. So you're also going to impact shipping, because not every boat captain that comes into the United States is an American citizen or American resident. Those are people that are coming that are they belong to other countries. So this would be a huge, huge impact. But that's what we have to do if you want to stop this problem. If you really want to stop it, everything has to stop. There cannot be people coming from other countries, period, for a period of time, because there's going to be too many people that can slip through the cracks. It's not going to happen because we have international shipping. So what can you do?
In San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year.
Oh, so this year isn't even over, and we have hundreds of people coming in who have ties to being fearmongers, inducing fear as a weapon.
These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
Of course. As I've said all along, the Biden-Harris administration is lying. They are not good people. They are the bad people. You can hate Trump all you want to. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, Biden and Harris are evil. They're freaking vile, disgusting human beings. Biden should have never been in office, period. But if he ever did get into office, it shouldn't have lasted very long. Harris is even worse. So,
Fentanyl is another issue. The San Diego area sees between 80 and 90% of the methamphetamine and fentanyl seizures annually for our entire country. With little enforcement at the border, these drugs were coming through in mass. During my last year in San Diego, the price for a single pill of fentanyl, for example, went from $10 to 25 cents.
So single pill. This is how many people they're letting in, how much fentanyl they're letting in. They're letting this stuff in. This is the Biden-Harris administration they opened the border. They opened it up and said, hey, just come on in, it's fine. Let them come. Remember, Biden famously said, let them come. This is who we are. These people need help. They're coming here to harm us. And yeah, sure, they might be getting help along the way, but ultimately all they're doing is harming the United States. And I've seen this country decline so much. And what happened in the 2000s? A huge, huge increase in the number of Hispanic people coming into the country, a number that we have allowed into the country. Correlation does not mean causation, but we know what's going on. You got criminals coming in here. You got people with the different cultural values that don't uphold what the United States is. That you got people coming here that hate white people. They want to get rid of white people. They want to eliminate white people. People coming here that hate this country. They want to eliminate this country. It's like, why are you here? If you want to eliminate this country, you want to get this country to suffer in some way. Why did you come here? Did you come here to make it suffer? Or did you come here to get your bag and then go back to your home country and you're just complaining about how bad it is here? If it's so bad here, go back to your home country and just stay there.
To make matters worse, during 2022 and 23, I had to shut down San Diego traffic checkpoints, which are critical for drug interdiction, because the resources had been diverted to the process and release mission. The large numbers also had and
So they're taking border agents away from intercepting drugs and putting them onto the, we're going to release you into the country program. Great. That's what we need. Border agents need to be heavily armored. That's all there is to it.
still have a negative impact on the San Diego community. I had to release illegal aliens by the hundreds each day into communities who could not support them. To quiet the problem, 2 flights a week were provided from San Diego to Texas. These flights simply brought aliens that would have been released in San Diego over to Texas. Each flight cost approximately $150,000. This was the administration.
$150,000 each flight. $150,000. Whose tax dollars pay for that? This country, I tell you, I just want to get out, because it's like you're gonna waste my money. You're gonna waste my money on this crap. These people that should have never come into the country. You can spend another $150 million moving them farther into the country each time you do that.
This was the administration's way to try and quiet the border-wide crisis. Once these flights were stopped and the releases continued, California saw the true economic impact. I received calls from the governor's office, local mayors, and hospital administrators asking me if we could keep injured aliens in custody so the federal government would pay the medical bills.
See, it's not just a problem of being what you might call a woke issue. It's not just going, oh, well, look, I don't want people of different cultures coming into my country and disrupting the homeostasis. I don't want them disrupting my safe space. I don't want them causing problems in my country because they're different somehow. And different doesn't always mean bad, but it does cause problems, almost always being different. because you're not part of the norm. You're gonna trip up. You're gonna get stumbled on. One way or the other, being different leads to problems happening. That's just how it is. This is a crisis of finances, of resources. We don't have the ability to provide medicine for the entire world. We don't have the ability to provide services, to provide shelter for the entire world. Yes, the United States is a big place. Yes, everybody in the world could fit inside the United States. I wouldn't want to live here if that were the case, right? That would be just too many. There's already too many people. I live here in California where the population density is insane. If you live in the more civilized areas of California, there's just too many freaking people.
Through pressure from the administration, my headquarters became more interested in the fiction that being portrayed in the media and not at all concerned with reality. Each time we asked for help in dealing with a new issue, it fell on deaf ears. At times in San Diego, we had 2,000 or more aliens sitting in between the fences asking to turn themselves in. I was told to move them out of sight of the media.
And they just want to lie. Get these out of the side of the media. We can't have these, we can't have the media seeing this stuff. So we got to put them somewhere. Where do you think they're going to put them? They're going to open the gate and be like, here, go, get into the country. Just do whatever you're going to do. We don't care. We're not allowed to see you. And this guy right here is part of the problem. He's coming out now. He should have come out when he was working, when he was doing this stuff. He should have been a whistleblower. As soon as Biden said do one thing that was unethical in this regard, he should have been like, this is what we're dealing with right here. This is it. I'm going to get a reporter down here. I'm going to have them take pictures. I'm going to have them take photos. I'm going to have them take video. I'm going to do reports on this. This is going to hit national news, period. What the hell's wrong with you people? Like, I stood up to my employer. My employer was going to be, oh, we're going to have a Black Appreciation Week. And I'm like, no, we're not. Are you going to have a White Appreciation Week? You're going to have a Hispanic Appreciation Week? I told them from my company email address, sent it right to the president of the company. He said, this is you can't do this. It's illegal. And I'm not going to stand for it. And I even called out some other stuff that they were doing that was discriminatory. Yeah, I'm willing to sacrifice my income to do the right thing. Are you?
Meanwhile, Border Patrol agents are continually forgotten and neglected by the media and this administration. These agents deal with death, women and children that have been raped, abused, trafficked, bought and sold, families that have spent months in terrible conditions, sickness, and despair.
You see what this administration wants? They want all that. He just rattled off these terrible atrocities, these things that are being wrought upon the people that are traveling to this country illegally. The administration doesn't care. They don't care about this stuff happening to them. They don't actually care about people. They don't care about the hundreds of thousands of children that are missing. Or you just imagine the worst. Because whatever happened to them is not good. Maybe a few of them had a good outcome, but whatever those kids are going through, it's not good.
If you look at the dramatic rise in the number of suicides within the Border Patrol, it is directly correlated with the migrant surge.
Wow, it's almost as if Border Patrol agents actually are human and have feelings and thoughts and compassion. So for those of you out there who think that the people at the border are not human, are just they're just anti-immigration, they just want to stand there and keep out the brownies. No, they're people just like anybody else, and they're going to feel things. They're going to have empathy.
The agents have been pushed beyond their limit, and this has greatly impacted their physical and mental health. While current numbers of aliens crossing our border are lower in comparison in recent months, there's a reason for this. After nearly 4 years, this administration finally started to ask Mexico for help in slowing down the traffic through their country. This and other actions make a difference, but why has it taken so long? All of these tactics were being used before this administration took office, but this administration stopped or greatly limited them. I'm also concerned this will not be maintained. The problems we are facing at the border have solutions.
Yeah, this is going to be maintained if Camel Toe gets into office. And I don't know that Trump is going to do anything if he gets into office. I don't know that he'll be allowed to do anything if he gets into office. But we know that Camel Toe is going to win. I wasn't certain there for a while, but it's all going to be fixed or whatever to make sure that she is the one, or Trump is going to be executed or put into prison in some foreign prison somewhere or something. Who knows what's going to happen, but they're not going to allow Trump to be president. They're going to want Camel Toe to be president, so that's how it's going to be. Anyway, I don't think he has much else to say, but we'll finish it out. It's only a few seconds longer.
These solutions can be quite simple and cost far less than the mess currently occupying so much time and money. The return to a policy of enforcing the law and returning illegal aliens to their home countries is required. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's not the only answer, like I've said several times throughout this video. Figure it out. There's an article accompanying this. Let's take a look at that. Border chief warned not to disclose arrests of migrants with terror ties. A retired Border Patrol agent told lawmakers Wednesday the Biden administration directed him not to disclose arrests of illegal border crossers classified as significant interest aliens who had ties to terrorism. We talked about that. He talked about that in the video. Retired San Diego Border Chief Patrol Agent Aaron Heitke made the revelation while testifying before the House Committee on Homeland Security, saying the Biden-Harris open border policies have undermined our safety and security. Yeah, if you don't think that the border issue here is a threat to the safety and security of this country, you're stupid. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Sorry, not sorry. This is a problem. We've seen this happen in the news. People being ended, people being assaulted. It's not good. Heike said the number of SIAs apprehended in San Diego sector increased exponentially from an average of 10 to 15 per year before Joe Biden took office, and more than 100 in both 2022 and 2023. Heike said those numbers don't take in account gotaways, migrants who cross into the country illegally but aren't apprehended. Yeah, how many migrants have come here and are not apprehended? You're always going to have somebody coming in illegally some way into this country until this country collapses, which it's probably going to do in like 2 or 3 months, the way it's going. It's just ridiculous. But once that happens, then of course nobody's going to want to come here. So you see, it's turning into a third world country. I don't understand it. It's like if you import the third world, you're going to become the third world. It's not a concept that's difficult to understand. Yeah, I feel for the people in the third world. I want what's best for them, but I can only give so much before I start losing too much to make it worth my time. He told the committee at the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. He said the administration was trying to convince the public that there was no threat at the border, which why would you ever believe there's no threat? We've seen this for decades now, that people are coming across the border illegally and they are a threat. How are you going to there are the people out there who I guess agree. Yeah, the Biden administration is doing a good thing. Yeah, all right. The only true consequence we have to slow down and discourage people from coming to the United States illegally is sending them back to their country of origin, Heike added. But under the Biden-Harris administration, he said agents were instructed to do the opposite. That's what we have legally, I guess. But change the laws. This is treason. You allowing people to come into this country illegally is treason. There should be none of this. If somebody comes into my house, in many places still in this country, if somebody comes into my house illegally, I have the right to eliminate them. Period, hands down. This is my house. This whole country is my house as far as I'm concerned. Like the border is the door to my house. Okay? It's the same thing. You know what they're going to do when they get into your area? For the first time in 25 years and under 5 different administrations, whether through neglect or on purpose, I saw a large-scale lapse in our ability to return people to their country of origin. The inability to send people home meant that most people being arrested for illegal entry would either have to be detained or released, he said. We talked about that. Customs and Border Protection data shows agents encountered or apprehended 1,856 individuals identified on the terror watch list as known or suspected terrorists between the fiscal year 2021 and August of this year, according to a report by the Center Square. Yeah. So those are just the ones that they've apprehended and identified. How many have they apprehended and not identified? How many have they not apprehended? So you're looking at, probably orders of magnitude greater numbers than this. And even if they're not on this watch list, how many of them are criminals or want to do bad things in general or period? So the guy, he was going viral because he's like, I'm going to live in your house and I've got all this money I can make. And he ended up getting arrested, but he wasn't on a watch list, was he? And he's still out there. I don't think he was kept in custody. Maybe he was. It's ridiculous. This needed to end, like I said, 50 years ago. It's like, oh, we tried it. Oh, it didn't work. Shut it down now. Well, that should have been what it was. But no. Of course, nobody listens to me. I'm just some guy who rants on the internet, doesn't know anything, right? It's ridiculous. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.